Hello, College 150 students. It's Brad here, and it's week 13 of the semester, so happy Thanksgiving. It looks like we're getting to that Thanksgiving break. I hope you enjoy family and food and all the other goodies. So, in our course, this is the week that we begin developing our website. So, it's our last big project for the semester, website development. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to use Efolio, Minnesota. So, you notice in our D2L course, there's all sorts of good resources. Over on the right side of the screen, I have tours of eFolio and how to get started with eFolio, and then a showcase of what eFolio sites look like. So make sure to check out those videos. That's going to be how you're going to learn to use eFolio Minnesota. Also, eFolio Minnesota has a nice website. So if you go out to eFolio Minnesota's website, you notice right on the front page, there's a little video. They actually play a little video tour. So it lets you see that video. But what you need to do with eFolio, and you notice there's a ton of videos out there, is you're going to need to sign up. On the left navigation of eFolio Minnesota, there's a link to sign up, and then you just have to click on sign up. So what it wants is it wants an email address and it wants some basic information about you. It's a free service because you're in Minnesota. That's how it works. You have to be part of MnSCU to use this one. We don't have any sort of sign up code, so it's optional. You can just hit continue. If you're a student, that's going to be your profile. Continue. And are you over 18? Yes. Continue. And then it wants an email address. Now, I highly recommend using something different than your St. Cloud State email address. You could use it if you wanted, but the reason they say not to use the St. Cloud State email address is because if you use Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail or whatever else or other one you have, then you're building an eFolio, a portfolio of your work that's going to be good for the rest of your life. You'll just keep using that email again. So make sure to put in an email address and then finish the rest of the account details. It just asks for some basic information about you. So just really look at making sure you use that email address and put it in and create a password. And don't forget, on YouTube, there are just so many videos. So lots of different ways to use eFolio. There's just a lot of them. There's ways to create content. I'm really a big fan of that one if you're looking for it. So make sure to check out those videos and see what's going on. Adding stuff to your eFolio site, that's the other big piece to it. So make sure to get those things done. And check our course. So there's just a lot of information in there. The term that eFolio Minnesota uses for content is an artifact. So you'll see the term artifact used all over the place inside of eFolio Minnesota. An artifact is just something, because basically eFolio is drag and drop. What you do is you load in papers, you load in videos from YouTube or projects that you've done. I keep thinking of the presentations we've done in this class are a great thing to add. But the idea of an eFolio site is to create a site to market yourself, to market your skills, something that we build now that you'll just keep adding to throughout college. And then when you graduate from St. Cloud State University, you're going to be able to use this as your portfolio when you're applying for jobs. The reason that we're building this now and building an eFolio Minnesota portfolio site is so that you can use this online portfolio when you have a job someday. And most programs require it. I mean, you're going to have to create a site before you graduate from St. Cloud State University anyways. So make sure to go into our course, learn how to use eFolio, because over the next 4 years, you're going to just have to do this anyways. We're just getting a leg up. So in our content area of our D2L course, if I go to the content, you notice that other than links to the advising center so you can find who your advisor is, that's a big one. Link. There's all sorts of links to eFolio Minnesota. You notice if I click on that eFolio online portfolio, it just takes you right into those sites. I even have an example site up. If you're curious, I threw one together just as a goof. And you see how that works. You can add videos and images. You can create whatever you want with this. And you can even put in YouTube videos if you want to. So make sure to create an eFolio site. They're really easy to use, and we're going to be working on this over the next couple of weeks. So I just wanted to make sure to show you that. And don't forget, in the content area of our course are all these little PDF handouts that explain exactly what you have to do. So really everything you need to build an eFolio site is in the content area. So that's kind of what we're starting this week, what we have going on, what's happening, what's important. But you notice in our content area, I mean, I just have so many PDFs on how to use it. So anything you want to do, anything you want to put about yourself, you can put in here. So other stuff going on in our courses, you know that we've been doing our 3 majors project, and you're doing a great job on that. The people that have been participating, it's just awesome. Good job, good job. So check it out. It's a great way to learn how to use a new technology, which is really what we're shooting for. In our Dropbox, make sure you're submitting any assignments that are due. You know, the one thing that gets people is you might need to, in the upper right corner of our Dropbox, is change how many items are being shown on every page. I think the default is 20, but we have more than 20 assignments we've done. So make sure to set that to like 100, and then you'll be able to see everything that's due in this class. And you notice if it's a blue link, you need to turn something in. So let's get any old assignments made up. Those are big things to do this week, is to play catch up. Yeah, that's our Dropbox. Our discussions area, I want you to do that. And then under the quizzes, we have these 4 quizzes that are open. Let's make sure to do those quizzes and get those taken care of. This is the week to catch up on any missing assignments for any of your classes, because if you don't, you're going to be screwed after Thanksgiving. So don't forget to do that. But that's basically what we have going this week. I hope you have a great holiday. Start thinking about an eFolio site. Create the account and start using it, and let me know if you have questions. I'd love to help. Everything you're going to need to know is in our D2L course, so let's get on it. So that's it. Have a great Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you next time.